there, this is Amanda Frankel with our Crafty Playdate, and today is Throwback Thursday, and we are making this card. I think it's very pretty, very soft. I'm going to teach you a couple of tricks. I'm going to teach you how to do this very cool double bow using the bow maker. So if you don't have one, definitely check in the comments below and you can order yours. It's not through Stampin' Up. I actually have a customer whose husband makes them for me. And you could make this into anything. This would be actually a very pretty wedding card also. Everybody's got weddings. They're got something on my nail. Everybody's got something coming up in weddings and baby showers and things in the spring. This would be great for all of those occasions. But I was just feeling a little low, and my friends have all been doing awesome things to help me out lately. And I just, you know what? I needed to tell myself that I could do this today. So today I'm doing this for me. But this would be a pretty card as a happy birthday or any other kind. Let's get started. We are going to be using some things that are current right now, but going to be retiring at the end of this month. So if this is something that if you see something you love, let me know. The paper, I'm going to tell you first right off the top what is actually retired and what is current. So right now, this color is called Pear Pizzazz. It is current, but it is retiring. So if you like it, get it now. We do not have anything like it in the upcoming catalog. The closest we have is our Granny Apple Green, and it's quite a bit brighter. So if you're looking for more of a subtle, natural, earthy light green, like a baby spring light green that's not super bright, this is your color. And it's called Pear Pizzazz. So we are using Pear Pizzazz paper and ink, current. Here's another layer of Pear Pizzazz. This paper is retired, or I'm sorry, this white is also current. So current, the colors. The stamp set is current right now, and the ink color is current. What is retired all the way already, these different kinds of gems that I'll show you. Although there are similar things you can get now, they're not quite the same, so that's part of the throwback. The ribbon is a throwback, but there are other ribbons you could use for this. Any ribbon will work in this way, so I'll show you that. But retired would be the gems, this designer series paper, and this ribbon. But everything that you see in this card is going to be fully retired by the end of this month. So if you want one of these kits, they have been selling out. I only have quantities, I believe, to make 5 kits. So if you want a kit, it contains everything that you see here except the sentiment. So you would have to stamp your own sentiment here. But believe me, you've got one because this works for everything. But it contains everything that you see here, and to make 2 cards, and it includes postage. And look, I even stamped the inside today. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, we are, as I said, using Pear Pizzazz paper, ink, and here's our designer series paper, and here are some of our gems. So I'm going to show you everything I've got here. I don't know the name of this designer series paper. I just don't remember it, but I'm going to show it to you in case you happen to see it in the future. So for a while, Stampin' Up! Would wrap their papers in plastic cover over it, and then the sticker that has the printed colors and what the name is was on the outside plastic, and every once in a while I would throw that away, and then later I would look for it, but then I couldn't find it. But half of the sheets in this set, in this paper set, came in vellum, and then the other half came solid. So this is the solid that we used. This is another vellum. So there would be a pretty wedding card too. It's hard to see that actually. Let's see. There you go. Now you can see it. So it looks like lace. So I'm not sure exactly what other colors are in here. I'd have to really do some deep digging. This looks a lot like maybe Blushing Bride, but I guess it could be something else. But anyway, this was the paper that I used. I will list something similar that you could use for it. I need that white paper. Okay. I will list something similar that you could use from the new catalog if you so chose, if you wanted to make this from scratch at your house. Okay. So this is just a standard card base, which is your normal 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So it's 8.5 by 5.5 right now. And then you just fold it, and I just match it up and fold it like that. Shout out to Cheryl, who likes when I do that. She thinks that's funny. All right, so my white panels are just standard panels. So this part of the card is super simple. The outside and the inside standard panels. This part is also really easy. This is a piece of Pear Pizzazz that is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. So it's just a little bit smaller than my panel up there. You can see how that fits really easily. And then this is just 1/8 of an inch smaller on this side and this side. So it's 2 5/8 by 4 5/8. And I know that sounds like a confusing measurement. It's not, I promise. It's just a little bit like a haircut shorter than this one and a haircut narrower than this one. So it's really very easy. And this is just simple glue. All right, so I am using my Tombow, which is clogged. Okay, gives me actually an opportunity. I keep these nearby. These are dental floss threaders. You get them at Walgreens or Target or Walmart or wherever it is that you go and buy your toothpaste. You get it in the tooth aisle, and they work for so many things. You can put things on ribbon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back a couple of videos, like to the beginning of my videos, and you'll see me actually add like a bell to a bow or things like that. And I use these threaders all the time. But the best thing is they're soft, right? They're not super hard. And you just stick them in the top of your glue and it fits completely perfectly. When you put your glasses on, you can just stick it right in the top and you just go all the way in and all the way out. See the glue on there? Which I just unclogged it. So now I'm going to just wipe that off. And those you throw away because they come in a bajillion pack. And there you go. So it got the glue flowing. All right, that's a little bit of a blob of glue. You really, I know I tell you guys all the time, ... not a lot, and you think I'm just being skinchy with my glue. It's not that. If you add too much glue, it either oozes out and then stays sticky forever in your envelope, or sometimes, especially when you're working with white paper and you put glue on the back and you're going to glue it on, if you make it your bead too thick, or if you use dots, I have a customer who uses dots. If you use dots, it will leave little lumps. So what you really want to do is just a kind of ridge. I always just kind of go around the outside edge and then maybe a zig in the middle. And I use really light glue. Okay, I didn't do that because I don't want to yet. All right, so that's going to be my top part. And that was easy. I'm going to do the bow and the stamp. And seriously, this card is a no-brainer. No-brainer. Hate to say no-brainer because then it sounds like, okay, Pear Pizzazz. Watch me make a mistake now and you'll laugh. Pear Pizzazz ink. This is even an old ink pad that I have. But it works just fine. Okay, the stamp set that I'm using, so you know, is Forever Fern. We've used this actually recently. I don't remember. I think we used this Hello. This stamp set is retiring. So if you like it, get it. It does have dies, I believe, that go with it. So if you like those too, you should get them while you can. All right, so I'm going to move that around a little on my ink pad. And I am going to stamp. All right, so one of the things that I always do, and I am not gluing this yet, I'm just kind of placing it on there, is so that I can see where I should stamp, which that looks about right. I just completely rocked it. Is that straight? It is. Ooh, lucky day. All right, so when I do that, I just set that on there so that I can eyeball it so I don't actually accidentally stamp it too high or something, and then it gets covered up. All right, so this would be ready to go except for the bow. And you know, while I've got my ink open, so I don't have to do that twice, I will find what I did with that. Here we go. With the leaf from my Forever Fern. And I'm just going to ink it up and stamp it in the corner. And it is what we call a distinctive stamp. So it doesn't stamp solid. See how it looks like it's darker in areas and lighter in areas? It just makes it look a little more realistic. So this is kind of a realistic stamp. We call them distinctive. All right, so that's my inside ready to go, Joe. And my outside, all I need now, I'm going to close this up. All I need now is that bow and my gems. So to make that bow, I'm using my bow maker. If you don't have one, my customer makes them. Let me know you want one. You can make these all different sizes. So a standard size bow that I would make with this ribbon would be about here. And this is where the ears of the bow, these, I call these the ears. I don't know what they're really called. I'm sure there's a real name for those, but to me, they're the ears. So the ears would be on here. And that's about the size I would use. And I adjust this by the width. So if I'm using super wide, big, fat, chunky ribbon, I would move these way apart. But for this one, I did it a little further apart because I'm doing multiple ears. See my multiple ears here? And I'm going to show you how you do that with your bow maker. So this is white seam binding. You'll have to trust me. I pulled the edges off. Sometimes I did that and I'm not, it had to be an accident because that's just crazy talk. All right. So I'm going to go to about here and then I'm going to wrap it around. And when I do one ear, normally I wrap it around once and then I go underneath the bottom, but I am going 2 ears, so 2 times around. I'm going to pull this out so that this piece is a little bit longer. Okay, so 2 ears. So it's gone 2 times around. You want 3 ears? 3 times around. This width of bow, the width here, I would not make 3 ears. But if you're using baker's twine or twine, you can actually wrap several times and then do this. And it just looks puffy. It's got all kinds of little puff balls. Okay, so that's that. I do the rest of it is exactly the same as it would have been had I just gone around one time. All right, and now you can see my knot is a little to one side. This is where I'm going to be bossy with it, and I'm also going to slide that knot to where I want it. Don't monkey with the ears on your bow maker. All right, just wait to monkey. And now, ooh, I got it real close to the edge. I don't know. We'll see. All right, now I am going to, ooh, just fits. I'm going to put this on here. I'm still, as you can see, not monkeying with the ears. I'm leaving the ears alone right now. I'm going to just put the bow part where I want it, flip this over, and tape this down. Look how close I got. Oh, my goodness. All right. You can see that I never cut it off until after I have actually attached it to my card, and that way I have almost no waste, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to cut that right there, and then I have absolute no waste of this ribbon. None. This will help your crafting dollars go further. Okay, so there you go. I still am not monkeying with the ears. Okay, I will monkey, I promise, but I'm not doing it right now. All right, so I'm going to come around here. You can see how little glue I'm really using. It's a super fine little line. I'm not doing anything chunky. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to make sure that my stems look like, yep, it looks like it goes this way. The paper, sometimes when you are doing something with botanicals or leaves or flowers, there is a way, right? There is a direction. It is directional paper. So you do need to kind of look before you stick it down. All right, so it's going to go like this. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue this whole panel to the front. You can see how I'm kind of doing it in increments. And again, I'm not using a big bead of glue, super small amount. And some people think I'm really just trying to be skinchy on that. And I'm really not. I'm not. I just don't, the glue is so potent and so good. And I just don't want it to ooze all over the place. All right. So there you go. That's my outside panel. I'm going to do my inside panel. I already stamped it. I always stamp things before I glue them in, which is kind of stamping for me, stamping 101, which I tell everybody right away. Always stamp before you glue, just in case you make a mistake. And I do often make mistakes, even as a pro. Then you can just flip your paper over and stamp the other side and nobody would be the wiser. Okay, there's my whole card except for my gems. And now I'm going to play with the ears a little bit. All you do is stick your thumbs inside and pull the ears apart. So I'm going to stick my finger in here and grab this side and that side. These little guys like each other. They're stuck together. See, I've got 2 little layers and I'm just going to pull them apart. So I'm just kind of opening that up. And now it is a big wider bow. So you can see how that works. Okay, so this is done except for the gems. The gems that I used are basic pearls, which we still have. This is an old pack, as you can see. I've actually colored one here because I wanted kind of a pinkish red one. You can color on your gems, so on your rhinestones and on your pearls with your Stampin' Blend markers. You cannot do it with just regular markers. That ink will wipe off, but alcohol markers like your Stampin' Blends, you can color on it and it will stay on. And then you can actually match it to the color of the card that you're making. And okay, so basic pearls, which we have, just not these kind, and I'll list them. And then these were Gingham Gala adhesive back sequins from a long time ago. And it had a bunch of different colors in there, and I've used most of them. And I'm going to use 3 sequins. Right, yep, 3 sequins. So I'm just gonna kind of pry these off. You want to use an odd number of things. I want to use an odd number of things on your card for your eye to like. Your eye prefers odd numbers. Oh, I pulled him off the adhesive. Okay, so if that ever happens to you and you pull your thing right off the adhesive, just put it right back on and give it a good pinch, and then you can peel it off and it sticks to the adhesive. Okay. So there's one, and I'm probably doing it because I'm using my scissors. I could just use my nails on this one. We have a great tool called Take Your Pick tool, and you could be absolutely using that to put your gems on. Okay, so you could just do some gems, and 3 is fine because it's an odd number. But I wanted to add a couple of pearls also because I just think they're so pretty. So there's 1, and I'm going to use 2. Because my eye likes odd, and that makes 5. And that is it for your card. You are all set. So I hope you learned something new with how to do this with your bow, and also how to unclog your glue, which I think is super handy. This card, easily adaptable to be any kind of card, baby, wedding, birthday, anniversary. This would work for anything. That's all I've got. If you'd like a kit, be sure you let me know as soon as possible. They're $5, enough materials to make 2 full cards, and that includes shipping. So jump in on that. Have a great day. I hope you'll stop back and see us next Throwback Thursday. And be sure to swing over to my friend Robbie's channel. She also did a Throwback Thursday video today, and I cannot wait to see what she did. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.